Okay, good morning class. Right, so today we continue, okay, for 3.3, right? So human blood. Okay. Okay, so blood consists of plasma, okay, okay, red blood cells, okay, white blood cells, and also platelets. Okay, so all these part, right, they have their own function. Okay, for example, that like red blood cell, right, you already know, okay, it contains, it can carry the oxygenated blood, okay, and also deoxygenated blood, okay, and the platelet is actually in for the blood clotting. Okay. Alright, blood consists of the blood cell that floats in the fluid, okay, that we call it as a plasma. Okay, and then plasma contains the dissolved substance, okay, such as mineral and digested food. Okay. So you have to know that the end product of the digested food is actually such as acid amino, right, amino acid, and also the glucose, right? So that is the final product, okay, for our digestion system. So this one will be carried by the plasma. And blood can be separated into two components that we call it as a yellow liquid and also the red liquid. Okay, so how we can divide this? How we can divide blood into these two components? We can use the process we call it as a centrifugal separation. Okay. So this is actually how does the centrifugal separation. Okay. So the blood will all this that mean they contain blood. Okay, it will rotate. Okay. And after it rotates, you can see the blood is separate into two major components. Okay, that is the red component and also the yellow one. Okay, so this is the white blood cell. So this is process of centrifugation. So after the centrifugation, you can see there are two major parts here. There is a plasma and platelets, okay, like 55%. Okay, while the white cell in the middle here is a white cells. Okay, and the one at the at the below one, we call it as a red cells. Okay, so 45%. Okay, so white cell is actually a very small layer, very thin layer. Okay, to divide the plasma and the red cell. Okay, now is the human blood. Okay, so we see closely. So this is the plasma. Okay, this is the white blood cells. Okay, and this is the red blood cells, and this is the platelets. Okay, so you can see 55% of it is actually a plasma. Okay, so in the middle here, between the plasma and the red blood cell, they got a thin layer here. We call it as a white blood. White blood. So this white blood is actually for our defense system. Okay, they can produce the antibody. Okay, first we see the plasma first, right? The 55%, the major part, okay, in our blood, okay. So plasma is a pale yellow color. Okay, it is 90% of water, okay, and 10% is a soluble substance, okay, such as glucose, amino acid, okay, mineral salts, vitamin, enzyme, okay, so the waste product from the hormones and also gases, okay. And the glucose and amino acid, this is from the digestion system. Okay, so all this will be carried out by the plasma. So what is the function? So the function is to transport the digested food to the body cell. Okay, and also to transport the excretory products from body tissue to the excretory organs. Okay, so let's say we know at our large intestine, right? Okay, large intestine. So the excess of water will be absorbed there. Okay, and then the water will be diffused, right, into our blood system. Okay, and then it will bring to the kidney. Okay, and will be secrete as a urea. Okay. Okay, and then the next part is can control the body temperature since it consists of 90% of water. Okay, so it can control the body temperature. And then the next part is transport the hormones, okay, to the tissue for metabolic process. And the last one is maintain the pH level in the blood. Okay, alright. So next we see the next part is a white blood cell. Okay, so the white blood cell does not have fixed shape. Okay, So it has a big nucleus. Okay, does not have a hemoglobin, and the lifespan is about 2 to 4 days only, and it can be produced in the bone marrow and also at the spleen. Okay, so this is the white blood cell. Does not have a fixed shape. Okay, does not have a fixed shape, and also it has a big nucleus. Okay, does not have a hemoglobin, and the lifespan is very short, like 2 to 4 days only. Okay, what is the function? The function is to protect and defend from harmful microorganisms. And also it can kill bacteria in the body, and it produces the antibody to neutralize the toxin produced by microorganisms. So you can see here the white blood cell is actually play a big part, right? A big part in our defense system. Okay, so that is the white blood cell. And the last one is, sorry, not the last one, right? The red blood cell. So the red blood cell, so it contains the hemoglobin. It's a round shape and biconcave, and also no nucleus. Okay, no nucleus. If compared to the white blood cell they got a nucleus, but for the red blood cell they don't have nucleus. And the last span is about 120 days. And also it produces in the marrow of lumbos and lack of red blood cell. Okay, so if you are lack of red blood cell, you may have a disease that we call it as a anemia. Okay, so what is the symptom of anemia? So the symptom of anemia is you feel tired easily. Okay, because means you have a lack of oxygen. Okay, lack of oxygen. It has a lack of oxygen. So mean when you have a lack of oxygen, you know that oxygen is need to produce the energy in the cell respiration, right? So mean if you have a lack oxygen, okay, so you will not be able to do the cell respiration. So when no cell respiration means the energy cannot be produced. So that's why you will feel tired easily. Okay. So what is the function of the red blood cell? It's actually only to carry the oxygen in blood. Okay. Okay, and then the next part is a platelet. Okay, platelet also does not have a hemoglobin. Okay, it's just like a cell fragment, so it's a very small, and also no nucleus. And the lifespan is about 40 days, 14 days, and it produces in the bone marrow, and the function is to help in the clotting of blood. So let's say you have a wound. Okay, so the platelet will help you in the blood clotting. Okay, so as you can see here, if you compare, right, only the white blood cell that has a nucleus. Why? Because they play a big role in our defense system. So they need to have a nucleus to control all the activity, right? And the other one, they just like carry, right, as a like a transportation only. Okay, as a transportation only. Okay, except for the platelet, that one is only for blood clotting. Okay, so this one, the white blood cell, they must have a nucleus because they play major role in our defense system. So that's why they need to have the nucleus. Okay, next we see about the human blood groups. Okay, so there are 4 human blood groups. Okay, there is A, B, AB, and O. Okay, and the blood transfusion. So what is a blood transfusion? It's the transfer of blood from a donor to a recipient. Okay, so let's say someone, they have the accident, okay, or something, right? And then they lost a lot of blood. So they need the blood transfusion, okay, from like the person that have the same blood, or maybe from AB blood, because AB is actually the universal donor. Okay, they can, not AB, O. Okay, so O is a universal donor. Okay, so means they can donate the blood to any type of blood. Okay, so blood transfusion is the transfer of blood, okay, from a donor to a recipient. Okay, so the type of blood transfused to a recipient must be compatible, okay, to avoid agglutination. Okay, so this one you have to remember. Okay, they must be compatible to avoid agglutination. Okay, so that means we cannot simply donate blood to anyone. Okay, you have to see the type of blood of the person first. Okay. Okay, blood groups A and B. Okay, blood group A and B. Okay, they contains the antigen. Okay, they contains the antigen A. For antibody anti-B and antigen B antibody anti-A respectively. Okay. Okay, so let's see first. Okay, I explain first what is actually the antibody and the antigen. Okay, this one is actually you already learned in form 2. Okay, so let's say, alright, antigen, what is actually the antigen? Okay, so every microorganism or every virus, bacteria, okay, they got their own antigen. Okay, their own antigen inside their body or inside their cells. Okay, so it's like a face. Okay, it's like a face. Okay, so everyone has their own face like that. Okay, so same also. Okay, for the blood. Okay, they got the face. It means the blood also got the antigen. So every blood they got their own face. For A blood they got their own antigen, mean their own face. B blood they got their own antigen and they got their own face. Okay, so it's a different face for every type of blood. Okay, alright, so that is the antigen. Okay, it's like a face. Actually it's the recognition. Okay, and what is actually the antibody? Okay, so you know already that our body, they have a 3 lines of defense. Okay, the three line of defense. Okay, and the third one is actually when the body, let's say the first one is actually from skin, right? So let's say for the microorganism will enter the skin, will enter through our skin. So let's say our skin cannot block, okay, cannot prevent the microorganism, then it will enter the second line of defense. That is a white blood cell. So they say the white blood cell cannot kill the microorganism, so the microorganism will face to our third line of defense, that we call it as a antibody. So who will secrete this antibody? So the antibody is actually come from the white blood cell. So the white blood cell will produce the antibody. Okay, so what this antibody do? Antibody will kill the antigen. It will bind the antigen together. Okay, it will bind the antigen together and will form like a ring there. So this one, it will prevent, okay, the cells, alright, to attack, okay, our body system. So it will bind together, you know, um like handcuff like that. Okay, so we cuff all the microorganism together so they cannot move. Okay, they cannot move, so it will bind together like that. Okay, so this is same also that like our blood. Okay, so let me explain first. Okay, for the person that has A type of blood. Okay, so A type of blood, so let's say A type of blood, then we have the antigen A. Okay, and they have the what type of antibody? Antibody anti-B. Okay, but for the person that has a B type of blood, they have the antigen B. And what type of antibody that they will have? Then we have the antibody anti-A. Okay, and how about the AB blood? So AB blood, they got both antigen. Antigen A and also, okay, and also antigen B. Okay, but they don't have any antibody. Okay, don't have any antibody. So means they don't have antibody anti-B, they don't have any antibody anti-A. Okay, and then what happened to O blood? So O blood, they don't have antigen A and also A and also B. They don't have antigen. Okay, but they have both antibody. Okay, both antibody, that is anti-A and also anti-B. Okay, so let's see how does, okay, what happened. Okay, what happened, let's say I took an example. So let's say I'm using myself. So let's say I have the A type of blood. Okay, so mean I have the antigen A. Okay, inside my blood, I have the antigen A. I mean, I have a phase of A. Okay, but I have inside of my body, I have the antibody anti-B. Okay, let's say something happened to me. Okay, now you know I have the A type of blood. Okay, and I have the antibody anti-B. Okay, inside of my body. Okay, then something happened to me. Okay, so another person, so let's say that person have the B type of blood. Okay, so the B type of blood, okay, donate the blood to me. Okay, but since I have the antibody anti-B, means my antibody can recognize, okay, can recognize the face of antigen B. So means anti, right? So it will not allow, okay, the antigen B, okay, inside the blood, inside the B blood, they got the antigen B, right? So it will not allow the antigen B to enter my body. So what happened? It will not enter my body. So what my antibody will do? It seems like when the antibody see the microorganism or the virus or the bacteria, what will they do? They will bind the blood. Okay, they will bind the antigen B that comes from another person. So they will bind the blood, okay, and can produce so the agglutination occur. Okay, the blood will clumpy. So agglutination will occur. Okay, alright. So let's say for the second person, okay, they got the antigen B. Okay, second person that has the B type of blood. Okay, so for the person that have a B type of blood, they got the antibody anti-A. Okay, antibody anti-A. Okay, so let's say something happened to the person, then they need the blood transfusion, and another person that has a type of blood A want to donate the blood to the person that have the B type of blood. So cannot. Why? Because the person that have the B type of blood, they got the antibody anti-A. So when you recognize the antigen A, try to enter the body, it will go and attack the blood. So what will happen? It will become agglutination. The blood will clump. Okay, so that what happen. Okay, if the person try to donate, okay, let's say from A to B or B to A. Okay, so and then what we see here about how about AB? Okay, AB, they got antigen A and antigen B. Okay, but they don't have any antibody. So let's say for A, something happened to the AB type for the person that has a AB type of blood. Okay, so let's say A want to donate. Can A donate? Yes, because he doesn't have any antibody. So whatever come into the blood, okay, into the blood system, that we just accept because they don't have any antibody. So they are not anti-A, they are not anti-B. Okay, so any blood also they can accept. Okay, that is for AB. So that's why we call AB is actually the universal recipient. Okay, they can accept any blood. Okay, how about O? Okay, O doesn't have any antigen A and antigen B. Okay, so it doesn't have any antigen A, antigen B. Mean they don't have phase. Okay, they don't have any phase, no recognition. So when no recognition, let's say for A type person, okay, A type person, they need a blood. Okay, so O can donate. Why? Because if the blood of O person enter the A type of person, okay, they don't have any antigen. So the antibody for A type of person, they cannot recognize because no face, right? No recognition. So they just can enter. So that's why O is a universal donor. Okay, they don't have antigen, means they don't have face. So the blood, our system body cannot recognize the antigen. So it will just enter our blood. But for AB, because it doesn't have any antibody, so any type of blood just can enter because no antibody. So means no, there is no people. Okay, sorry, it's just like assume there are no people to attack, right? Okay, so that is how does the blood transfusion. Okay, if you want to make sure it's compatible or not. So this one you have to remember. Okay, it's just like explanation. Okay. Right, so blood group A, they got the A antigen. Okay, group B, they have a B antigen. Group AB, they got A and B. Okay, and group O, they don't have A and they don't have B antigen, but they do have the antibody A and antibody B. That's why the blood group O, they cannot receive blood from any type of blood except O only. Okay, except O only they can accept because they don't have A or B antigens. Okay, sorry, they have the antibody, anti-A and anti-B. Okay, inside of the person that have the blood group O, okay, they have both antibody A and B. So if any A and B, okay, try to enter, they will kill the blood. Okay, they will bind the blood. Okay, so that's why they can only accept O. And this one already explained. Okay, so this is a coagulation of blood. Okay, what will happen? See, they bind, right? They bind. So it means the blood will not, okay, the blood will clumping. Okay. Alright, human who have lost a lot of blood as a result of excessive bleeding caused by injury or sickness, okay, need blood transfusion to replace the blood that is lost. So this one I already explained. In all blood transfusion, the blood group of donor and recipient must be compatible to avoid coagulation of blood. Okay, and the ability of someone to receive blood depends on the presence of antibody in the person's blood plasma. Okay, so this one I already explained. O is a universal donor, B is a universal recipient. Okay, so this is actually the table, okay, table that can be simplified. So who can donate to who? Okay, so like blood recipient, blood group O, they can they can donate the blood to AB and O. Okay, but they only can accept O blood. Okay, sorry. Okay, they only can accept O blood. But for the blood group, they can donate the blood to A and AB. But they only can accept from A and also O. Like that. And sorry, they can donate to A and O only. Okay, for B, okay, they can donate the blood to B and AB. But they can only this one they can donate the blood to B and AB, but they can accept the blood from B and O. Okay, for AB, okay, they only can donate the blood to AB only, but they can accept the blood from AB and O. Okay. So the importance of the blood donation. So every day blood is needed to save life. So blood is required for surgery, accident victims, or to treat patients with leukemia, hemophilia, and other illness. Okay. So that is the importance. So later, I will ask you to do a project, okay, for PBD, right? You know that you have to do the project. So I will explain to you in the next class. So what you have to do, okay? What you have to do for your project, okay? So I will stop first until here. Okay, thank you. If you have a question, you can ask me. Okay, I will do a short quiz, okay, online quiz. Okay, so you can try to answer whether you understand or not. Okay, so thank you class, right? Bye.